just record, so it'll be loaded up to YouTube, and you can go up and rewatch if you want to hear something.
Perfect. Okay.
And then also
For
the old,
our recall.
yeah, and there's old ones too. So what I was thinking today of going over is what I do in an assessment with somebody, that you guys could kind of do it on each other and just feel some of the things that I'm trying to teach people when they come in first in the door.
Mhm.
Everyone's assessment's a little bit different, but really my goal in assessment is that I want people to kind of get a better understanding of like, well, what is actually your core, and are you actually using your core, and what are some tendencies that you might be doing that then we want to maybe pay attention to, so that when that person then goes and does a private lesson, like if I do an assessment and then they go to work with any of you, you can look at the notes and go, oh, they have these tendencies. I know exactly what I'm going into. I don't have to do the whole evaluation. And that's kind of how the whole private session structure is set up. And then maybe chat a little bit about like, as you guys have been coming to classes and you're all teaching, like what little things have you found you're picking up on that you are able to then put into your teaching that you might have questions about more? Like the biggest thing in observing and coming and doing classes is that like nobody expects you to be somebody else. I don't expect you to teach like me. I don't expect you to teach like Maya or you know, like everyone's got their own personality, but it's like what things are you like, oh, I really like that, I want to do that more, or actually I don't really like that, I'm going to use that. Some of my best teaching things I've learned have been from things teachers did that I hated. And I was like, oh, one teacher taught this whole class and she told us the whole time not to do stuff, but she never once told me how to do it instead. And I was like, don't tell me what not to do and don't give me a reason or way to do it instead, you know, and like my whole teaching kind of like grew out of that. So it's not bad either if there's things you don't like. So we can start with, and also time. What's our time limit here? What time does everyone have to be out?
I live here, so.
Great. Okay, let's move in.
Ideally, like an hour-ish.
Okay.
Cass doesn't live here.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
not yet.
All right. Then I have to definitely probably be up at 3:30, so that's probably the latest I could go.
It's about 2.
I've been up since 5 and at Stanford Hospital all day, so I just came, so I'm here.
Oh, is everything
in
okay?
body. My husband has a lot of health issues, and so
Okay.
a couple times a year he goes and does like a big workup, and today was one of those
Okay.
days. So yeah.
So coffee will be helpful too.
Yes, very much so.
Okay. Do you have a class you have to run out to?
Not till 4:30, so I don't have to leave here till like 3:45.
Okay. Okay.
If we need to stay too, I can text my boss. She won't care
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
No, she does not. Give
Do you guys want
crap
to chat
time.
about like classes you've been coming to and things first, or go into the assessment stuff first?
I'd rather do the classes thing first.
Okay.
Warm up,
Okay.
little icebreaker. Like the icebreaker.
Yeah. I mean, you're all teaching,
Mhm.
right? And then you've been coming to classes. So what things have been something that you've been able to like add into your teaching?
I really like your cue of the like bra strap and the tailbone staying down for neutral, because in you saying that, I have an issue with my ribs flaring, and that makes me really think about keeping that down. And so I have been using that, and I noticed how it changed for other people too, because I think with neutral, sometimes when we talk about like, okay, does this just feel like an arch because it feels weird to you, or is it you're truly arching? That has kind of helped make the difference of like, okay, well, we still keep our back, we're not flaring.
Yeah.
But that has been a really helpful thing to help the people who I have seen with rib flare too, of thinking about keeping that spot down and using that cue of keeping your bra strap
Yeah.
down. Even the guy that I've been
You can tell
coaching in the morning,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know where like a bra would land? He's like, yeah. I'm like, keep that on the carriage. He's like, got it. So I really like
And
that
then
too.
not collapsing in too, because
Yeah.
it gives you 2 focal points of where you're feeling your body hitting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that too.
Do you
Um,
collapse in, like, you have to be kind of like kyphotic for that, for like a collapse?
It's the whole seesaw thing, right? Some people
Yeah.
tend to just go into too much. So any cue you give, you have to look at how that person responded to that cue. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you give it and you're like, oh, that's actually not at all what I want you to do. So then you adjust. But finding the cues that you like and seeing how they go. And Mayla and I were talking about this the other day. It's like a lot of it too is establishing for your class within your teaching what your cue means.
Yeah.
So if you're giving like a visual cue, then as they're doing it, you can explain it. Then you can just throw out quickly like, hey, rib cage, bra strap, you know, and they should hopefully then start to learn what that is. A modification that can be helpful for that, if especially if you in private lessons get the hands on, and then that black pad can go underneath people's low rib cage or even pelvis, and you could have that. Oh yay!
have a good meeting, guys. Have a good concert.
Have a
You're
good
going to a
concert.
concert?
Yes.
I'm going tonight.
Will,
Dance your little heart out.
Thank you.
who's here still, Laura?
Maya and then Laura should be arriving.
Okay, just put the note up then if somebody comes in, they can. All right. Cheers.
Life
Cheers.
force.
Cheers.
Ready?
Cheers, cheers.
Here, have to have the picture, Brooke. Getting closer, Brooke, and Elsa, you're not in it. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. The black pad can go either underneath the low back or underneath the rib cage for a little more support. So let's say it wasn't appropriate for bra line for somebody because they were going into too much kyphosis to get there.
Okay.
You could bring, so with the reformers, they're not one size fits all. We gotta make them fit to
Yeah.
people's bodies. So you can use that black pad to bring it up to somebody's body so that if their bra line down, was too much, you have the mat come closer to them with the black pad.
When you say too much, would that mean like either they couldn't do it without a flat back or maybe like shoulders rounding
If
off
something
carriage,
else
that's
was
kind of
maybe
like that?
giving, like, not everybody's body's gonna get to where we ideally would want this like neutral place to be. So it's then like, how can I help you get to your best place today? And then sometimes giving a little slack, like take away some of the, if psoas is tight, they might not be able to get into neutral pelvis. So then that black pad or the monarch balls or these different things that kind of give slack to a certain area. So then you're like, okay, let's just focus on this area being in its best neutral. I do often like to say, it's not that your low back, like if the neutral spine is a lightness in the low spine, some people's bodies are going to still have flesh that touch. And so you want to make sure you're not expecting them to have curve. It's more there's like a lightness under your low back. So it doesn't become like a body thing.
Dysmorphia almost.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When you do the blue pads under kind of like sacrum area, and what I thought was the reason, so tell me if I'm wrong, is it because then you get like some better feedback for tucking and tilting, or does it just kind of help
It's
people
kind of
also
that
find
same
neutral?
slack idea. It's like the same reason we do the slant board for footwork. Like in the
Yeah.
pregnancy class, we put that slant
Yeah,
board.
yeah.
So if you think of your psoas, if
Right.
people have a tight psoas and they're not able to find their comfortable neutral, it kind of lifts them up a little bit, and then that rib cage gets to soften a
Yeah.
little. So it's
I
helpful
used
for
the monarch balls like we did with Elsa that one
Yeah.
day, and that was really helpful for a client too. Like putting that under their
Yeah, it's fun because it's
sit
unstable.
bones. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
And the blue pad's really helpful also for people when they can't get their legs up to even 90 or 90 drop without hip flexors being turned on. So whether it's shorter legs, larger body, tighter hip flexors, tight glutes, lots of reasons why people can't get them up and actually keep them there. And so if we put that pad under their butt, then it just gives them an ability to go through all the exercises without having to fight against that.
And it helps a little bit with
Yeah.
rib integration.
Yeah, exactly. How about you guys? Have you been able to throw in some stuff to new things in your teaching?
Not necessarily yet, because I have been doing a lot of the power classes here. When I do teach the jump class, so this cardio school, I have used the warm-up that we use in the power because it is so good just for our ankles. Like,
Yeah.
you would be surprised at how.
Oh no, I won't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, so actually that's how I start the
Nice.
my cardio class now.
Nice.
It's with that, and the first time people didn't understand it, but now, I mean, I go through the whole thing, and
Yeah.
it's great.
Nice.
So-
Have you been to our cardio class?
Yeah, I love it so much. I did Megan's and Kat's, I believe, and then I'm taking yours this weekend. So I love cardio. Yeah,
Megan has a fun cardio class.
Okay, mine's based on Hopkins.
yeah. Megan's is crazy. So, and then
That's
Kat-
why I think it's
yeah.
my thing.
And then Kat's was great too because we had an impromptu dance party in the middle of it.
Oh my god, that's fun.
Yeah, so it was nice. We kind of just like shimmied it all out for like a moment or two and then got back to it. So Yeah.
Life should be like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Impromptu dance.
During Maya Barnes Pelvic Health, and I talked to Steve, like the Q, and this is kind of like a shorthand Q, but
My dad.
for no Maya Barnes,
Megan Barnes,
no,
right?
Maya
Maya Barnes. There's two Mayas.
She's
not two
Maya
Mayas.
with a Y, not
Yeah,
Maya with an I.
but she
Okay.
said when I said like the sits bones drawing together for like kind of like could be pelvic floor integration, and that made a lot of sense to me, and then also like hip bones drawing for like kind of this is bones and a little bit of transverse. So I really liked those. I felt like they landed decently when we're not going like too in depth. So explaining a little bit like marble and then that to help them when they're moving, giving that. But one thing that I think I noticed and I have a hard time with is I think that I need to get people in position and moving so fast, and then I trip over words because for like whatever reason I was like, I don't want anyone to be like waiting. But then
I agree
I
with her on
take
this
a class
100%,
and
yeah.
I watch a class and I'm like,
There's a lot of pause.
yeah, and like you
Yeah.
need to get in the position properly.
So the way that I do that to try and take away the pause, because we don't want to be sitting, we want people, it's 50 minutes,
Yeah.
you know, and it's
Yeah.
like we want movement, is explain the exercise. Here's what we're gonna do. We're doing footwork, your heels are parallel, you're moving the carriage in and out, you're in neutral, past spine. Okay, start moving. Here's the goal of the exercise. We're trying to focus right now. You can pick whatever the goal is in that day, like, but
Integrating your ribs or whatever.
integrating your
yeah.
ribs, finding your neutral spine. And then here's the strategy of how you could do this. And then I encourage people to like find your thing you're thinking about during class. If I'm telling you something over and over again, that's yours. Own it. Just think about that throughout. And then I'll see people and you can say like, I saw you. Good job. You did that. But get people just moving in the movement. Because then if someone is in the class who knows exactly what's going on, they're not waiting.
Yeah.
And if somebody's just like, okay, I'm trying to learn everything, they can't hear the movement instruction and the cueing instruction at the same time
Yeah.
anyways. So then you could just make sure, okay, everyone's moving. Then you can like sit back and be like, okay, I see everything's doing, and I'm gonna teach the entire class to, all right, let's try doing this a little bit and doing
Yeah.
that a little bit. And when you go to one person and you're cueing and hands-on, you can be talking to the whole class about what you're teaching that particular person. But definitely like, yeah, get movement going and then cue them in the movement. And don't
Yeah.
worry about it if everyone's not perfect, you know,
Yeah,
right away.
Mainly because for at least like the progressions and the foundations that I've been teaching, there's a lot of different levels. So I'll always like say the name, which works out because since I've taken so many classes, so I can say like the kind of like the monarch name that I'm used to as well. But I'll go like as trying to say like how to get into the position if they don't know
Yeah.
so fast that they get confused, and then I trip over my words where I'm like, okay, you can still take it at, you know, like
Yeah.
say the name, someone can get into it, but go this, okay, now this,
Yeah.
okay, now,
I'll look and see like if somebody's set up and waiting, I might say like, you can do bent knee fall out.
okay,
You know, and then take your time in the foundations classes. In foundations classes, you're gonna have people who've never been
Yeah.
to feet in straps before, you know, so that just right there can be overwhelming. But it's okay to be like, okay, I'm gonna let this person go slowly, and then, oh, you're set up, great. See if you can start doing, you know.
yeah,
But that's that multi-teaching too.
I've been in classes where people will say like, we're gonna do this move. It's, for those of you who haven't done it, give me just a moment and I'll explain how everyone can get into it. So if it's like feet and straps in a foundations class, like, okay, I'm gonna explain how to get into it. If you already know it, go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Where they like kind of preface the fact that they're gonna do a deeper explanation, but so that it doesn't feel rushed.
Yeah.
So that people are like, okay, I'm ready to hear how to do this, and that might help a little bit if you're finding like you're in a progressions class and there's a lot of people who have never done a move or
well,
something.
because what I feel like I was doing is going too fast, like I think I was throwing it out too quickly, trying to get people moving, like way
Yeah.
too fast, and for those who didn't know how to move it,
Mm-hmm.
were like, then there was like a
Catching up.
disconnect of like what I said. and, like,
I
me
would
trying to
say
get words
don't
out.
say things too fast, but don't let them sit long. Like
Yeah.
give them a cue of like, okay, you know, I always go back to when my sister's kids were little and she shared with me caveman speaking, where you like sometimes to get kids to listen, you just have to be like, stand now.
Few word do trick.
Do this. And so if like I can see people are losing it, I will definitely pull back into like, put on a red spring,
One
lie on
minute
your
swing.
back,
Mhm.
put your feet in the straps, and give them like a second to hear
Yeah.
it. Because you know, when we're in classes, I'm like, wait, what did they say? I'm
Yeah.
not paying attention. What's going on?
Exactly.
I totally don't know what's going on. So you can go into
Yeah.
caveman, speak a little bit, and just like let people hear their thing.
Something that I've really liked, I don't know if it's a balanced body thing or if it's just the instructor that I go to for balanced body, is sweeping the carrot or like sweeping the reformer. So that can get people moving of like, our foot bar is up, what color springs, so like saying everything, every position you want on the reformer of like, this is how many springs, we're gonna leave we're gonna be laying on our back, so then at least people are kind of getting into position while sweeping it of like, okay, some people might take longer to change their springs, some people, and then you can start explaining while they're laying down or whatever that case might be, but that has been helpful for me of thinking about too, like, okay, yeah, our foot bar is up for this, or actually we want our foot bar down, this is how you change it, this is the spring, and like going across thinking about what we're using on the reformer, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah, but that's when the person I go to for balance body has been, like, she hounds that into us, but I kinda like it, cause then it's a way to explain it to people too, so that they know, okay, actually, I know that footwork I do this spring, and I know this, yeah.
Nice.
One thing I will say too that I've noticed and hear in other classes, not just the power, but other classes, is that we will bebop around and take the box on, take the box off,
Yeah,
add
less of
springs
that.
on, add springs off.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna do this, put the bar up, put the bar down. When I try to teach my flows, that I try to kind of go and then, okay, we're gonna do short box for, say we're gonna short box with plank.
Yeah.
Then I'll think of something to do with maybe arms or something else, footwork that we have the short box on. Then I'll take it off and then we'll be done with short box.
Yeah.
And then, so that was just, it's a different way for my ADH brain. I kind of actually liked it because I never got bored. Like Megan is great in her classes and her dynamic and stuff like that where we bop around. And I'm okay with that, but it's interesting to see how I
Yeah.
teach absolute opposite
Different.
of that.
Yeah.
So,
Is that also the Monday dynamic class?
that was on Monday dynamic,
Yeah.
and then another. Is that the only one that she
The
does
Monday
dynamic?
dynamic is the one that she teaches more in a classical style.
Okay, so that might be okay.
Yeah, she follows kind of the flow
Okay.
of classical. in
Okay, so that might be
particular
the reason
class.
why. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if she does that so much in other classes, but yeah, no, I
Okay.
do. I like efficiency. For
Yeah.
me, I want like to get as many things in. Like if you have a setup done, do as many
Yeah.
exercises as you can, shifting through.
Mhm.
I think that's great.
Keep your red and a blue. Let's do 4 things with red and a blue. Keep that box on. We're gonna stand on the box. We're sitting on the box. We're using our arms on the box. We plank on the box. Box is done.
Yeah,
And then you get in, you get out.
yeah,
And then the other thing I really, really, really love, and I actually do incorporate this now, is I do arms and then legs and straps in a row. I didn't do that before. I would do like footwork, bridging, planking, if it was a class that's appropriate for planking on the reformer, and then I would do arms and straps, and then I would do some other things.
Mhm.
But I've been saving arms and straps for the end with legs and straps, and it's just a very nice way to end the class.
they flow together.
Yeah,
really
they flow
nicely.
together
Yeah.
very nicely.
It's also nice to not do too much up and down back side. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Yeah.
when you're on your back, and I don't like people staying on their backs too long either.
Yes.
But it's like, go through your back, go through
Yeah.
your squat. And the way that Polestar kind of taught it too was like you start on your back and you build yourself up to
Yes,
standing to
and then
finish
you-
standing.
Oh, then you finish standing.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily hold to that alone. I mean,
Okay.
like you could finish with feet and straps, you
Yeah.
could finish, but it's nice to integrate the work into upright so you can take it out the door with you.
Yeah.
So if you don't get to standing at some point, there needs to be, it's like not being on your back the whole class.
Yes, which I
Yeah.
kind of go like this and then this,
Yeah,
but
That's
I
all good,
never
too.
thought about standing as an ending to exit, and that's how you.
it's an option. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
good to know.
they're all good.
Yeah, I personally like feet and straps earlier just for my body with
Yeah.
like my tight hamstrings and hip flexors.
Mhm.
I love it because I'm like, oh, I'm open, I'm
Yeah.
prepared. Just a separate way to think
Yeah.
for me personally. I don't necessarily teach it like that.
See, I like it at the
but-
end because I just,
Like,
I
yeah.
walk through the
I can see
end and
that.
we're just all hanging out there. We do our legs and straps and we go into a butterfly and we just sit there for a moment
Mhm.
and then we're done and then I release,
Yeah.
when we're done.
I see
So,
that
yeah.
too.
I teach thighs and straps or feet and straps before arms and straps because I want people to get their leg extension organized
Gotcha.
with assistance. And then when you go to arms and straps, it's actually harder because you no longer have the strap for the leg extension. So I
Gotcha.
intentionally do that, and that's just what I do. Especially in foundations, I think it's really nice because you can learn, this is what it means to move the leg with the help of the springs, and now I need to add this and still move the leg.
Mhm.
But that's just a strategy. You've been quiet. Do you have any pieces?
Oh, so many, so many. Yeah, I really loved my shoulder health thing, and got the great class. Yeah, and the seesawing of the ribs, and like,
Seesawing,
you
yeah.
know, we're so focused on pelvis, right? That it was so, yeah, it's the whole thing, but like just the way she incorporated that, and so like a lot of what you guys were saying as far as like, just been watching ribs so much more now. And when I got to be your body, like the way, whatever my background is, was very much like being informed as far as touch, like always, like, can I touch you? And then 3 minutes later, can I touch you? You know, and it drives people crazy. And then when I had hands on and like just how it feels, I'm like, people actually really do want this,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
they will tell you when they don't. And I've always walked about, like, just very cautious about it, and so just trying to shift that, and I've actually been doing so much more of that in my own teaching,
Mm-hmm.
and watching how a few little hand manipulation, or not even manipulation, just touch, can shift everything in their body to where they go, oh, that, you can hear it, but until you feel it and somebody actually helps you go there in whatever it
It's
takes,
huge.
it's such a big difference. And like actually having people say thank you so much, that made such a difference. And we have big classes,
We do.
right? We have a lot of people to look at, and so just being able to walk around and get them moving and then do the touching, and then so that's made, like, it's kind of been this weird doorway, a good one,
Yeah.
but I kind of thought it felt really good for you guys to assist me, so I was like, that was so much better than hearing the words.
Yeah.
The words are one thing, the touch is so different.
Well, and when you put the touch with the cue of like,
Oh.
okay, I'm gonna hold your hip, now lift your hip up. Then across the room, you could be like, Cassidy, lift your hip. They know
Yeah.
now. You can start
Yep.
to, so
Yep.
you can, like my dynamic class, I do a lot of hands on, but I also am like, you do this, you know, like Holly, head up, you know, like.
Yeah.
to
It was a
s-
huge
get
shift, so
them.
really
Yeah,
thank you.
good.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I've only taken a few classes here just because my schedule's so wackadoodle right now. But the ones that I take, that's the other thing, is I love that they go deep, not far.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't have to cover a bunch of stuff, but man, when we go to a thing, it's going so deep into it that it feels so different in my own body that I'm noticing I'm just like, when I'm like taking someone into that same movement, it's very different. Like, it's just, my words are different, and it's just taking it a little deeper, and you see these little people, like little lights go on, like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's so much. Generally, it's harder. We'll hear, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's really effective. It's more effective, but they'll say, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like you're moving less, but it's just
Less is
smarter,
more. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's just been a lovely shift,
Nice.
and like a calming one.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
work quite as hard.
No,
Yeah.
you just take it deeper and more clear and more efficient. So I've liked that.
Good.
I'm such a toucher already because I'm a Taurus, and I'm just a natural, like, I'm just a hug, you know, I'm a hugger, I'm a toucher, and so we are very taught to like kind of don't touch people, you know, you obviously ask permission. So I have the same people in my classes constantly, so I'm like, you guys all know that I'm a Taurus and I love touching you. So if I come by, is it okay if I touch you guys, you know, or what, however I
Yeah.
put it out there that day, depending on who's in my class and stuff. And the very first class I took here was with Megan, and she goes, is it okay if I touch you? And I go, I'm a Taurus, you can touch away. And she just started laughing so hard because she's like, I have never heard it like that, you know. But people do, I think, love the feedback because it's instantaneous feedback, and it might be just like, don't curl your toes so much, or don't, you know, make sure that you aren't splaying all the way open, and
Yeah.
like, I go out to my hands or something like that. A big one is the integrating the ribs because people don't understand that.
Yeah.
And
Have you come to Shoulder Health yet?
I have not. I've done
Should
pelvic health. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoulder Health, we started going over ribcage integration and diaphragmatic breathing with it,
Perfect.
and
Okay.
a lot of that seesaw ribcage
Yes.
work.
Okay.
That will help with some cues.
I
for
actually
ribcage
I think I
integration.
was signed up for tomorrow, but my once a year haircut is tomorrow.
Wait. Tomorrow. Oh, that's pelvic health too.
Oh, that's pelvic
Shoulder
health too.
health
Okay.
today.
Shoulder Health is Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesdays.
I
Okay.
teach Tuesday at 12:30, and Maya teaches Wednesday at 5:30, which is going to be changing to Monday at 6:30.
Okay.
Watch that again. For my touching. In a group class, I actually find it a lot easier because there's more. But in privates, and Sandy told
That's-
me
Okay, that's what I was looking at you. I want to know
I
how
know
that
you
went
were
today.
looking
I
at
put
me.
you on the spot.
it's like what I'm like I'm more afraid of is like not knowing where to touch. But Sandy told me just touch.
Just touch.
Yeah.
Just
We're gonna do that right now.
touch.
We're in the assessment. I want you guys to touch and feel, but like basically, yeah, hands. My osteopath. I've learned so much from going to my osteopath. She would treat my ankles, and she would just sit there and hold my ankle, and I was like, "What are you feeling?" I'm so curious. So for a long time, just sat and hold people's ankles during footwork and just feel, and you're like, "There's so much in there." So you don't even need to know what you're doing. You're just touching and feeling feedback. But with that low back position, that's where I would start also. It's just like, what is the back doing? And you'll start to, you don't have to have the right answer, but like, oh, that feels different, that feels different. And then you can task them, like, what do you feel working? I really feel my core right now. Oh, okay, that's great. Now my fingertips know what that feels like on your body.
I've even just been doing like light, like this, just to bring awareness to a piece of the body when I'm working through a movement with someone. If you're like, okay, so you're feeling this right here, right? And just touching, because then it also like makes me, because I was working with you and I was like, not afraid to touch, but I just like didn't know where to touch. So now I've just kind of been like, okay, we're good with hands on, so I'm just doing that. As I'm just like, okay, you feel this right here, right? Or what do you feel here? And just like putting my hands on or being like, okay, so really think about elongating and like dragging my hand across their back, and you can see a little bit of extension come through that. And like that, I've been doing like exposure therapy for myself.
Exposure
Like,
therapy.
every move, I'm like, what do you feel? Like, or like putting my hand there to be like, okay, I'm just gonna like.
I used to
Yeah.
challenge people when they were doing their student teaching to try teaching a session without talking very much. Just seeing like how much could you actually guide the person with just your hands, and then just do like minimal words. I mean, that's not reality, but it's like, you know, you can do a lot. And like what you with Killian got to feel yesterday in his back, and he was like, Sandy pushes a lot harder. Like to start to figure out.
Long nails though. I was like trying, knowing because if I push hard on his back, I was like, that'll be nailed. And that's too, like, I always think I like once they find it too, to like release my hand and I'm in a private, I'm like, I don't have to do that. I
No,
can
you don't. They are paying for that hands-on, and a lot of clients come. I mean, I've never had a client put the consent band on, ever. I don't even know if anyone's ever. And we tell everyone about it and how to use it, and that just kind of gives us that protection of somebody. Hopefully, everyone knows about it, but no, everyone's like, "Where's the band to ask for more?"
Yeah.
You know, I just want.
I know, let's be touched.
Let's get 2 mats out, and then we'll take turns being client
Touching
or
each
teacher. Are you guys comfortable here? Or do we need to go to the trap tables? Are you okay, like getting us?
Yeah, whatever's good. Yeah.
What I was saying to you, Nayla, today is make sure that you are seated in a way that's good for your body. So on these low reformers, you use the sitting boxes to sit on, so that you're not like this to get into somebody. It's the reason why that large reformer exists is because for 15 years I only taught on that.
Fair enough. She was
Yeah.
like, don't sit on that. I was like, what am I supposed to
She
sit
said
on?
the same thing too.
She's like, where's the other?
Okay,
That makes sense.
so one person can be client and one person can be teacher.
We had clients today, so I actually had to wear normal people clothes.
Oh, that's so sad. I want
It's
it.
really sad.
I'm trying to
I
start
love when
using
I use normal
people clothes.
These?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a cardigan
And
on.
I like that top. Where's the
From
tank
Gap.
top?
Really?
Gap.
I love Gap. I love Gap.
Gap hits. I'm gonna start having Monarch kind of be like my fashion show, because this is where I like leave the house for. So I'll have like a sporty day, but like also like a jeans and
Yeah.
a top day.
Yeah.
I'm wearing jeans.
This is my, I mean, I have like actual professional clothes, but we only had like a client come in to sign, and so I was like, ugh, I have to wear like actual jeans, not leggings or sweatpants, because that's usually what I go in.
Yeah.
I can. This is so good. This is warming me down inside out.
Okay. You can throw my shoes at it. So whoever's client lie down, and then whoever's teacher get to where you
teacher first.
put
Okay.
your hands. You might want to go on that
Drink
side.
is
Yeah.
going.
So you're gonna bend
No,
your
I like-
knees. And do you want a pillow?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So you clients are gonna put your hands on your low belly, and you're gonna take a belly breath, and you're gonna let your belly fill up with air, and then you're gonna let it fall. In fact, you guys could actually do this too if you want next to each other. Once you have space, you wanna do it lying down. Yeah. Okay. So basically, I want you to let your stomach muscles entirely relax and feel them naturally go to the ceiling. And then you don't have to force an exhale. You're just gonna let the stomach muscles fall on their own. So you are not yet doing belly breath. There you are, Brooke. Yeah, good. And I will tell people, and then you just let it fall. That yes, I recognize that we are sticking your belly out in the very first thing you do coming to a Pilates session, but I wanna make sure you have the ability to let go of your stomach muscles as much as contract them, because we don't ever wanna get stuck in a chronic contraction. If someone cannot let the belly go, their pelvic floor is probably gripping a little bit too, so you have to let go of butt and pelvic floor.
And what would that look like, Cindy, like when they were belly breathing, if they couldn't?
Let's see your belly breathe.
Uh-oh.
You know, 'cause I know, like, oh my gosh.
I already know the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, and then less about the breath, just kind of. Yeah. Yeah, good. So noticing with your fingertips the contrast and difference between when the stomach muscles are to the ceiling and when they drop down to the ground. And that's what we're trying to teach people to feel. Then you're gonna take your hands up, and you guys can also do this if you want to. Put your hands up to your rib cage, and we're gonna do the rib cage seesaw, which is lifting your ribs up towards the ceiling, shoulders down, and then the opposite, and just do to what's comfortable in your body. See if you can allow your shoulders to come off the mat as the ribs drop down. So think of your breastbone like a teeter-totter. That's literally gonna arch. Yes, that's it, Brooke. Good, and then let me see the difference, Cassidy. Yeah, there's the up, and then go ahead and exaggerate the down. Yeah, try not to tilt your pelvis or use your breath to do it. Just move your bones.
Okay.
We get so tight into breath, and so many people come in, especially from yoga, like I have to do everything with an exhale. I stand by, our whole goal in this work is to get our bodies moving dynamically. You are not gonna stop and think about breathing before you have to pick up your groceries. You're just gonna pick them up.
Yeah.
So people who do really loud exhale, like it has its place and it's good to know, but once you get into classes, I'm like, get out of that. Like you can't every time we move. So I tend to push people away from that. Yeah, just let the breath be natural.
I have a couple people that do that.
Yeah. You know, you're not gonna do that when you're not gonna stop and breathe in order to run across the street. Okay, so that's the ribcage seesaw, kind of exaggerate between the two. And then what we're gonna do is leave one hand on your ribs, one hand on your low belly. Good. And I want you to do your usual abdominal contractions that you might do when you're tightening your abs.
When you're tightening your abs?
Yep, just tighten your abs. Okay, and then let it go. Okay, and do it again. Okay, so let's watch Cassie first. Okay, Cassie, go ahead and tighten your abs. Okay, Cassie, which way are your lower stomach muscles going?
Up.
Saw that,
yeah,
Yeah. A lot of people don't
I
feel
think I
it.
do the same thing as you.
You did do the same.
Yeah.
First time you did, second time was a little bit less.
Okay.
Most people feel like they're contracting, so
Yeah.
they think they're coming in, or they're feeling that the belly button is pulling in, but the low belly pushes out. So pull your belly button into your spine as hard as you can. Yeah. So it's really hard. It's a lot of work, but it's seesawing the ribs and it's pushing the stomach out. And so what I like to do is not teach anybody what to do yet, but just find out this is your strategy, this is your common tendency.
Mhm.
It's gonna stay with you. 5 years from now, you're gonna be doing some kick-ass hard Pilates exercise, and your body's probably gonna go back to that strategy, but you can now recognize it and have skills to do something different. So finding, okay, and explaining them like, okay, did you see the rib cage? It moved, so go ahead and do it again. Do your just old. So there's a rib cage seesaw, and the stomach muscles are going out. So that's not actually core, right? So let's see yours.
Oh, no.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's why we're here. Okay. So what is your strategy right now?
Not breathing.
Okay. Yeah. That's the other thing I point out to people too. Is it's like when you're doing that strategy, you're holding your breath.
Yeah.
So once you can start to recognize, like, okay, these are the things I do. Now let's teach you how to do what we
Okay.
want, what we're after. So you're gonna let go of your belly button. You're gonna let go of your butt. You can have your hands on your stomach still. Just don't put your hands on your low belly.
She said, I'm letting go.
Yeah.
Then I can watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Brooke, take your feet a little wider, more hip
Are we
width
I
apart.
didn't ask if
Yeah.
I could touch you. Do you see that was a huge improvement? Did you
Good
see
job.
that?
Touch away, you know me.
So now what I want you to do is pelvic floor. And I will go a lot more into education if people need it, but you're gonna imagine that you have a tampon,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna make it a pearl. And you're going to hug that pearl, but you're not gonna let your hands know. So there's no rib cage or pelvic floor movement. We're just doing pelvic hug. And then you're gonna let the pearl go. Now, if this were really hard for someone to let go of their butt or feel it at all, I'd pull out the monarch balls and they go underneath your cheeks. Do you guys wanna watch, or is it good watching right now?
I love
Are we
watching.
gonna get to do it?
Yes, sure. If you are able to and comfortable, put your hand underneath their low backs. Are you guys able to do that? Did I do that? Oh, sorry. I got these.
Oh,
Honey.
thank you.
Good. And then
I have
hands
all
behind
this.
head does pull ribs out.
These right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't put your hands behind your head, because
Oh.
that pulls those ribs out
Okay.
more. So put your hands on your
Oh,
stomach,
sorry.
and if you feel like your knees going for your head, we'll just get you a pillow.
Okay.
So with the balls right
Am I
underneath
pushing you
each
up at
cheek,
all?
Can I touch you? I wanna feel.
Yeah, you
it.
can-
Okay. I don't know if you're doing that.
go one hand on the spinous process, so right on the bone. You're gonna go all the way in, you're gonna touch the bone and the muscle next to it, and then you can put the other hand on the stomach, on the front, so just right here on their low abs. Okay, so what I would do now is with your hands here, have them do their old contraction again. Do what you did before.
Like my breathing?
Just like what
when
you
you held
used to
your
do.
breath.
Yeah,
When, yeah.
like the pop
Okay.
state.
It's
Then
funny
pop
because
it
when you
up.
say that, that
Yeah.
was what I go to, but when I'm in a Pilates class, this isn't what I do necessarily.
That's okay, you're being a good client then,
Yeah.
you're being a good student.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because I was
I felt
thinking
you-
about it,
I
and I was
felt
like,
when
in a
you
class, this
Really?
is not how I do it, but when you
So I
say
know
to
what I
do
should
it,
yeah.
My
just
hope-
sitting, that's
Not one bit.
immediately what I go
What
to.
you go to, yeah, yeah. So when it gets hard, you'll probably go to that also.
Mhm.
So
How's it then?
now what we're gonna
Did you
do
feel it?
is just do your pelvic floor release.
Okay.
Let the
And you don't
marble go
feel
and
anything?
widen. And then when you do the pelvic floor hug,
Like pulling the marble up or the
Mhm.
pillow?
just hug it.
Okay.
Don't worry about moving it up yet. In your fingertips, especially kind of like right through here, sometimes you can feel the sense of the seatbelt knitting and widening. And then, yeah, I often like to then like have you guys
Can you
put your
feel anything?
fingertips
I just
there
felt it
also.
there.
So put your fingertips on your low abs also, Brooke.
Oh.
So that you together can feel what is it like when those muscles
I
knit,
just felt that.
but don't push up to the ceiling or pull too hard down. So if you need to repeat it and be like, okay, the difference is pull that belly button in as hard as you can,
Okay.
right? So notice what that feels like. Breath is held,
Oh,
belly
okay.
usually goes out. Yep. Now don't do that. Good. Now do the pelvic floor contraction without pulling the belly button in as hard. Less is more integrated.
Way more subtle,
Way
right? Like
more subtle.
And that's transverse
Transverse
is
is
helping them.
Transverse. So the ultimate goal is that pelvic floor, transversus, multifidus all contract together, and diaphragm too.
And
Yeah.
that,
You
that
just do it.
popping that you feel in the spine is
Now do the other
multifidus,
one.
right?
The
No,
regular-
holding
the
breath.
The multifidus is a really vague. Then go ahead and do your pelvic floor.
Now you pushed into my
It was
fingers,
like
and the
the
other one, they felt like
the
my
bad
fingers
one.
almost came
The
together.
bad one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now
the
do the
popping
other
is more
My normal-
paraspinous.
I mean, the
more
good one.
superficial
The-
back muscles.
Hug the marble.
So-
Well, and I think I find, like for
Okay.
myself, when
Okay.
so I did a heavy glute day yesterday, I tend to revert to
Could you feel
older
it?
things because my
Yeah.
like,
Very
glutes are
subtle.
tired.
Good.
But then, like while I was lifting yesterday, I think about
So
my
we're gonna
pelvic
add
floor.
on to it.
So it's interesting.
We're gonna do bend knee fallout. Brooke, are you sure you don't want a pillow?
Yeah.
Okay. Good
Sorry.
It's okay. Put
Sorry.
your hands on your stomach. Yep, good. You're gonna do bent knee fallout, which is both knees opening out just about halfway. And then coming in. So now what we're doing is moving your legs without moving the ribs or the pelvis.
Okay.
We're like at our child's.
When you open up, you guys having a baby together? When you open your legs out, just about halfway, stay there and go ahead and squeeze your butt. And then try to bring your legs in while squeezing your butt and notice what that feels like in the back and the butt and the hips, right? And then go out and this time don't squeeze your butt, let it totally relax and let those legs just come in lightly. Sometimes when people have a hard time getting out of the butt squeeze, I give them this. So these go underneath each knee.
Underneath the knees?
Yep.
Ooh,
Mm.
got a lot of toys in here.
Yeah, once the feet are down, good, into that Q angled, and yeah, good, squeeze the balls with your knees. Notice how that puts you into your old
Mhm.
strategies, butt, hips, grim. Now let the knee ball go, but don't let your legs fall out.
Oh.
Just let the knee ball go. Yeah, so you're softening the backs of your knees.
Okay.
And you're gonna keep that ball giving you feedback, so that as your legs open, pelvic floor is opening. Then as you come back in, you're not squeezing the ball. You're letting the pelvic floor do its part.
Now, I'm feeling my fingers widen as you open.
Really?
Like they just move apart a little bit, and then they come together as her knees come together.
Yeah, so that let your rib cages sink a little bit. Go into a tiny bit of a pelvic tilt. You feel a little bit arched to me.
There. Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
Well, I feel more.
Okay.
How did it feel in your body where you were?
I have a really deep curve, so I'm just used to
Yeah.
being pulled,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
So use your feet
Okay.
and push your body towards the front door just a little bit,
I
giving
feel
your back
like
more
I feel
leg.
like I'm being stable. Yeah.
I still want you maybe
Well, it's
right
funny,
here
yeah.
where the balls.
Yeah.
Move them lower. They're too high. Put them
They're
under
too
your butt,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
not your back. Yeah.
the
So So that was
I think
making more
usually
curve,
during
right?
Yeah.
Pilates, it's like in the beginning, you're like, what's happening? And then
Now go ahead and let you.
I'm like,
Yeah, that feels way
Okay.
better. Feel that softness.
It actually feels better on my body too.
Right, those paraspinals were working too hard.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to let your paraspinals, your back muscles just fall into my hand.
Okay.
Yeah, good. And then let that spine stay in my hand.
Well,
And
you
so
know, it's
open your
interesting
legs,
to
let the
the
pelvic
math,
floor
it's like
widens. Ribs would also widen gently, good. And as you draw your legs back in, yeah, good. I might go a little bit higher up here just for practice of not being so close to
I did
people.
the House Body, I did it for
Thank you.
I
I
don't
went too
care.
far.
No, just for your sensitivity and for
No,
your comfort.
I
yeah.
get it.
I go kind of
Doesn't
right
bother me
below
at all.
belly, and then I'll tend to
this.
like,
She's like,
yeah.
I'm doing
Okay,
it right now,
thank
talking
you.
to you guys. And I was like, you should
I have a lot of
be.
clothes on too,
Like,
sorry.
that's not good for you.
And then I go
To just
with the
be
knee ball.
bracing all
Yeah.
the time,
Okay.
like.
Good.
Softness.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not movement, there's not bulging. We're basically looking at not doing the things that your body wants to do
Okay.
in
Because
challenge.
because it's comfortable and
Yeah.
normal for me to feel like arched and
bring that
like
with
kind of
different connections together.
like that.
So I think about that.
So now I don't necessarily do an assessment, but I am with you guys right now. If someone's like, got this, I will. Keep the knee ball, but pull your knees up to 90 degrees at the hips and put your head down. Good. And then just put your hands at your knees for a second. Yeah, good. And then bring your knees in close enough to that true 90-degree angle and let your feet relax. Good. Okay, I want you in a place where, and then a little closer to you, a little wider with your legs. Okay, and then you guys could go back under the hand again. Feel their spine. And same thing, bent knee fall out as your legs open apart from each other with this added challenge of legs up to 90-90. Can you keep that same form? I feel like your knees are falling away from you. They need to come into you, and then this is where you need
Is
to
this truly my 90 degrees?
Correct. You're also up on the ball, so it's
Oh, so it's a little different.
But yes.
Cause I was like, what?
And then you need to let the monarch balls at your butt. Yes. Knees in 90 drop are a really great way to get deeper into your core. Once you've got that, you could go to 90-90, but you want to make sure it's just a shin lift, not a pelvic tuck. A lot of times people will go into that pelvic tuck. So can you keep dropping those feet down heavier, but don't let yet?
Okay.
Yeah, and yes. Good, so that you can really let your low back fall into that negative space. And open those legs. Keep the knees to you. Hold them.
Sorry.
Good. Yeah.
Now I'm feeling just softness, like nothing is gripping or tightening.
Wait, do it
No,
wrong.
what I mean is like nothing.
Do it wrong?
Do
Yeah,
it wrong.
now I feel the gripping.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just relaxed here. Your hand feels good.
Do you
No,
want,
I mean in a good way, like
I'm
nothing
sorry.
felt like it was straining.
Okay.
do you
Good.
want to go on to one more thing or switch so that you guys
One
can
more
feel it?
thing.
Okay,
Mhm.
so now you're gonna take the ball and you're
don't
gonna
wanna let go.
You're gonna hold them
You
under
didn't
the
get a
raw
choice.
line.
These ones?
Take the monarch knee balls out. If you like them, I always tell people they can have back. The butt balls are gonna go away.
No butt balls.
No butt balls.
Ooh, that feels funny now.
Yeah. In fact, I tend to do this more with the wedges. Ah, so I will get the wedge.
This one doesn't say anything.
You can do it with the monarch balls, and I like people to notice. So if they buy these, they have a way to use at home. But this goes underneath the raw line.
Okay.
Are they supposed to say monarch on them?
They used to, and the logos started melting off onto the clothing and leather of the equipment. So we had to like metallic. Yeah, just one set, not all of them. Okay, so hands behind your head. You're gonna curl up.
Oh
Yes, good. And then if you want to keep these as feedback, you certainly can curl up. And you're gonna look at your legs. Okay, now you're gonna feel your low ribs being able to drop into that negative space. Your pelvis is gonna stay anchored but easy. Good. You're gonna open your knees. You're gonna go back to that bent knee fallout we just did. So as you open your legs apart, sits bones and knees and glutes are soft. As the wind blows your legs back together, we're asking the legs to challenge your core to contract.
Can you feel that? Like is like I
feel
can
that
feel
right
like
here?
I don't know like
I
I
want you in here.
Ready?
I want you up more.
so almost more like kind of tense like work.
Like, put your
feeling
hand
more
out right
like
So when
Just
she
the
falls
muscle.
down, go down. Feel how that is
Yeah.
shortening in our hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you come up, it's not being so much up. I want you to use your feet like you're pushing your, yes.
There, I
Mhm.
feel
Did you
that
feel that?
a lot.
Okay,
Yeah,
let go of
but
it.
it
But see, I'm
doesn't
having a
sound
hard time
feels
letting this
easier.
go on the way
Okay,
down.
Like
so
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it
because it feels
collapses,
like
let
it's
go.
gripping here
Mhm.
She's
too,
arching.
so maybe
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
And then when
maybe,
she comes up, she's just kind of
Okay.
shortening it, kind of
Okay,
tightening her back.
Down.
Now
yeah.
stay up where you are.
Whenever
Let
I
go
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
butt. Don't really, yep. Did you feel how that kind of just lengthened into our hands? It's okay if you did it. It's like, it kind of went like this.
I was thinking I got it. And then
It's okay. That's why we're doing this.
I just like the look on your face.
like I definitely felt the
So-
like lengthening and the like
If
too
it's
much.
too
Yeah.
hard,
That
the
makes sense, actually.
pad's
Yeah.
too
Not
high.
open all the
Uh-huh.
You
way.
need to move your body down.
right?
to where it's not such a long lever. So the pad
Right
makes your
there.
spine
Yeah,
become a
cause then
lever.
it starts
Yeah.
to push
Right.
up
Then-
again.
yeah.
So she could, so going that direction's gonna make it harder.
Oh.
I mean, this direction's, yeah.
Yeah, right there, and then,
Yeah, then you come into your legs parallel. You soften the knees and the glutes, you stay up, you keep dropping through those ribs and you do a pelvic tilt. So you're gonna push your pelvis, but don't use your butt.
Okay.
Think about the balls still being underneath you,
This
so
just
you
means
can push your
pushing
butt.
No.
into the ground.
it's still pushed
That's
up,
all that
It
is.
is,
but
okay.
maybe it's
But,
not
like,
supposed to
I
push
feel
up,
more
correct?
Sandy wants me
like
like here.
Not it,
And
not
then-
as if you're like
Yeah.
just, like, sorry to like,
So let this fall into my
Which I
hands.
guess is
Uh-huh,
what
good. Think about the labyrinth idea, you know, that labyrinth
Yeah,
thing with the
and
ball
then
rolls
just
around,
like-
so now go back to your
Well,
neutral,
because I guess
all the way down to
when you
neutral.
have a
Good. Let go of
natural
your knees at the
this,
monarchal.
Yeah.
that's shorter,
Mind.
where
Yeah,
if I'm
good.
I might-
pushing
might do
In your
it.
mind,
I
yeah,
am
yeah,
like
there.
feeling
Okay.
Now hug the marble. Good. Now roll the marble into my hand. Let the spine move as you roll. It's like the pubic
I've
bone
been doing
will come
abs on
up,
the ball.
but you're gonna use your feet. And you're gonna roll your
love
ball.
it.
Yep, go.
It's torturous,
Go.
but I love it
Keep going.
because it
Oh, keep
really
going
helps me
higher.
drop my
Roll
ribs
into my hand
down.
more.
And so
Keep
it'll
rolling.
really be in
Keep rolling.
this
Keep
and I'm
rolling.
like,
Yes.
curl
Okay.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cause
Yes.
I like will
can
tell
go
myself
more.
I know
You
the
have
cue
to
that
use your
Sandy would
feet.
tell me.
You have to use your
Okay.
legs.
Pushing your feet
You
into,
have to
yeah.
integrate, yeah. When the legs come up, it becomes that much harder, but right
Yeah.
now you have your legs. So think of them pushing away,
That works.
using that
Yeah.
suction
Okay.
cup,
That was
right?
like-
So you're getting
So-
that
Yeah,
elongation.
it does feel
Mhm.
so much
Marble
longer.
Yeah.
like
So I,
this.
I think I
Right.
felt when
So I
Cassie
felt
just
like
did
it was
it,
just like, it was kind of just
it,
like
I
coming
guess like I felt it more in my finger when
Good.
she
Okay.
used her feet.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that's okay.
I'm gonna get
So
to
that
that, I
is
just
the
wanna
length
show
of it.
you what I
Which
show
is-
people in
yeah.
I
this.
would also think the opposite.
Because when you do this for just like the tucks and tilts, you're like relax.
Yeah,
and then
exactly,
really
yeah,
is.
so
When I
that's
felt the
different.
pushing, I was like, where?
Yeah.
Helps the headache a little
The
bit.
guy that
with
I've
the
been-
coffee. Yeah,
He's now a regular client a couple
the
times
weather.
a week.
Also,
Mm.
all the
At 6
winds, the
a.m.
fog, the
yeah, amazing.
coming in and out.
No, he asked and I want the practice hours, so I said yes.
Makes the people that
Um,
call.
today I go,
Like, it was just this
okay, I
weird-
want you
A wonky
to
day.
drop your knees or drop your heels towards your butt, and he goes. I was like, no.
Some
Is
people
he
told
teaching
me
your
that like,
Huh?
Was you teaching your boyfriend?
No, this is me teaching the guy who's been coming on Thursday mornings at 6 a.m.
Oh.
Today
at
he
6 a.m. he's like, I'm gonna.
well, and he's like this, and I was like, so we're gonna make it a little easier on your hip flexors. Go ahead, drop your heels towards your butt, and he just goes onto the foot bar, and I was
Sounds
like,
my
no.
husband.
Well, that's how my boyfriend is too. He's like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
What?
TJ's like,
This-
my hip flexors hurt so bad.
This is spine flexion. Oops. So this is a setup. Okay, what happens in setups is everybody thinks crunch, 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 crunch in the front, and then instead of the elongation, you just add this forward shift. And when the
Oh,
ribs
that's
just
what you
shift forward, the abs bulge out. So if you think instead about this length and how much that end of the muscle has to move away from there, then you get the elongated setup and the abs just do their job.
It's just like new.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
So what we're doing right now is rib cage still, pelvis moving. So you're here. We're up in the curl, and we're just getting those abs to move, pelvis to move. So I'm using my feet, right? And I'm moving my spine, but I'm not butt squeezing. I'm not letting my bulge go out. I'm trying to let the bulge just soften by not working so hard. Then of course we could do the same thing, which I do in a lot of my classes, right? Can you do it without those legs up? Then pelvis steady, upper body movement. So then this is an actual curl up where the pelvis isn't moving. I'm lengthening those low ribs away from the pelvis and focusing on pelvic floor and just letting all this drop in.
down.
Yeah, because when people start to push and work hard,
And
that's
you can
when the
visibly
see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
So,
also people
Go back out of the pad and do the pelvis still and the upper body movement.
like, cause when we were talking, we said kind of like a push up, and then also like how people don't like belly to spine because then they can like suck in without like anything. Is that for belly or does that happen?
I want the
Yeah.
transverses to come in as a response to good movement.
Oh, 100%.
So if we cue
Sheer
belly to
reward.
spine, then it's just like,
Yeah, because that's what I think I was trying to say, like deepening, but like deepening with intention, not just like sucking, you know?
yeah.
Because we just said that, and I said, well, we could do it wrong.
Maybe I didn't fully follow what you were saying.
We just mentioned like belly going down, but I wanted, I guess, to talk about what we did, which is like belly can still go down without
It's-
the like.
It's
what
letting
we-
it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Versus
most people
forcing it.
just need to let it happen and find that ease of movement. like, go ahead and do it again. When you work hard, we work hard and excess happens. So if you're just like relaxing and doing the movement, you're just gonna feel the belly drop. It can get to where, yes, you can then actively think of pulling the belly in with that, but you've gotta find this feeling first. So, yep. Now come up and do your best curl up. Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, no, good, stay there. Now let your pelvis drop to neutral, even a little bit more through your monarch ball, knee, and glute release. Yes.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
ask you, like, on white ball, maybe like if we could look at, if I could look at when you do it to
Mhm.
see neutral pelvis on white ball within curl up.
The bigger white ball.
I
Yeah.
love those.
Yeah.
These guys, these ones here.
'Cause
I bought
yeah,
one, I love it,
I
for
know.
myself,
I
but
have
Yeah.
two, the gun
They're my
dives.
favorite size.
Well, what I've been thinking about, so Balanced Body in their new thing, they talk about wheels
Wheels.
in our body.
Mhm.
And it actually has helped me a lot with like thinking about your ribs as rather than just thinking about, I think we talk a lot about our head and neck and our pelvis in Pilates, but really thinking about
The rib cage.
like here I'm only working through my rib wheel.
Yeah.
Like my head wheel's working, but I'm keeping this stable and really curling through. And so when I've explained that to people who've like
Done exercise their whole
Yeah.
life but never done Pilates, they're like, oh,
Your ribs.
wait, that's different.
You
And
know
I'm
the
like,
new balance body manuals?
yeah,
Well,
why?
the person
Coming-
who's teaching me wrote it.
Oh, who is it?
Rayleigh Saxton.
She's the one that.
She's been teaching for like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you come
I
up into the
really like
curl, having people actually see what it feels like to relax a little bit more, there is, like, we all do a little bit of pelvic tilt, so sometimes it's just nice to get up there, and then you can do costal breathing there too, you know, different
Yeah.
things. Do you guys wanna?
Yes.
Switch it?
Yeah, switch.
I wanna feel you.
That's okay, I have a coffee breath too.
I guess it's more.
On
conventional.
this iPad, in the favorites are all the things that I tend to show most in the health classes and in the assessments.
Cool.
So pelvic health, we do this, but I'll pull this up and show people because so many people never see your pelvic floor, right? So like
I
what all
really-
those pelvic
yeah.
floor muscles are, and then you know, piriformis, that looks like. Sometimes it's nice to just pull this up and show like, okay, these are your abdominals.
how different are the men and women's bodies?
No, the pelvis shape is different,
Yeah.
but I don't worry about that too much when I'm teaching. When I'm teaching and I have men, I will show them you wanna see it?
Yeah.
The men's pelvic floor.
Heck yeah.
We, you know, get to now have a male Pilates teacher, which is really fun because Bobby's a hoot. And pelvic floor conversations with him are hilarious.
Listening to him talk to
Oh my
foundations about their pelvic floor is kind of silly sometimes.
He was like,
He does it very well, but
Yeah.
it feels silly to listen to him.
it made me
talking about
realize that I can talk about vaginas all day long, but I cannot tell a man to squeeze his penis. I was like, I just can't, because he was
Is
like,
that what it is?
Is that how you?
Yes.
Okay, because
Because
that
I
was.
was
I thought it was balls up.
he was like, squeeze your penis. He's like, just squeeze your penis. And I was like, oh my god, I love that.
So that's
do
really
it.
the cue.
That's what he said. I'll just share this. It was hilarious. Sorry, well, maybe it's on camera. We're having this pelvic health teacher playtime, and he's like, so is it supposed to be like the clitoris? Like, what? He goes, because he's gay, and he's like, I'm sorry, but I don't know where the clitoris is. We're like, most people don't.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Get in line.
Most
Yeah.
men
Okay.
don't, they're okay.
Yeah, you don't know it, but you're good. But so here's, male pelvic floor. It's basically less holes
Yeah.
and you squeeze your penis. So
Okay.
if you're comfortable saying that,
Mhm.
go for it. The best cue that it is the penis. The best cue I've gotten from men, and I always say this, and I will always invite, if you have a better cue, let me know, but that sensation that you're about to walk into the cold ocean, the water's up to
Yeah.
your shorts, and you lift everything up away from the cold
Yeah,
water.
I've heard that.
I've heard. Yeah. I've heard pull your balls up like
Yeah.
they're touching
Yeah.
cold water. Like
Yeah, I tend to just say pull
Apparently.
everything. I don't know why. I'm like, I could talk vaginas all day, but not penises.
Because
It's
vaginas
obviously-
are much better.
Well, that's a good cue to know though, because I was trying to teach my boyfriend
Yeah.
about like just tilting his pelvis, and he's like, "Am I doing it?" And then I was trying to think about a pelvic floor, and I was like, "What do I say?" Like,
Yeah.
I don't. I told him. I mean, luckily it was just him, and I was like, "I'll get back to you on that cue."
Try it.
It's very
resonates with
you
more. Squeeze your penis or.
Well, and I told
Balls
him the cue
up.
that
I
we
think
give
of it.
for like women, and I was like,
The
so
peak.
think about just like kind of hugging everything, and I know he's like, oh, I guess I kind of feel that.
I've told many men to think that they have a vagina. Like, have a vagina.
Well, that's kind of what I told him. I was like, think about if you had a vagina
and you were squeezing it together, and he was like,
Yeah.
okay.
That usually works a little bit. So
I do have a question though with men versus women's pelvic areas, because when, in archaeology, I touched a lot of them, but they're all dead and just bones. And so,
men's hip bones are higher.
they're higher,
Higher.
they're narrower.
They're narrower and higher.
Yeah,
They're so
and
much higher.
They're like tree trunks, like,
I like have to like, oh wait,
yeah,
oh got it.
way up here, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, how, when you're, is the sensation of pulling up, does it have to go more, or is it just, no, okay,
Yeah, no, I mean, most people just need this.
okay.
The elevator queue is gonna happen, but,
They might have to go to the fourth floor instead of the
I
second.
like people to close the elevator doors first.
Okay.
So learn how to close the elevator doors before you go to the first floor. and
Okay.
that
Does the elevator end at your belly button?
No, it's your vagina.
Well, I feel like I can go like you know how
That's
like
because your transversus is designed to co-contract with your pelvic floor. So
When
it's
you
designed
use
to
your
co-contract with
pelvis.
your transversus. So when you use your pelvic floor correctly, your transversus is also connecting. So
just hit
everything,
level 3.
great.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm squeezing my pelvic floor, it automatically.
That's what it's supposed to do. That's what we're
Contracts,
trying to
yeah.
train people to do.
Like it goes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to think of it like the balloon in your pelvis where everything is just deflating. Or it's like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, is everything, the balloons and jellyfish come up, everything's hugging tight to your spine,
Okay.
front, back, diaphragm, all of it, but nobody knows. Yeah.
Well, it's different body awareness
Right,
that
that's the
people
thing, yeah.
don't
You
have.
can't- it's
You
not like
don't
a-
feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
it's just, it's a very, like,
Internal.
like when I was rolling the pearl, like you
Yeah.
can't, it
Yeah.
just is a very
Oh, I
gentle,
understand
No
what
one
you're
should know.
saying.
no one should know.
So hand
It's a
underneath the low
secret.
back, one hand on the belly, and then you guys are
Sorry,
gonna put your
my
hands on your
hands
stomach
are
muscles. And you're gonna start with your belly breath, and you're gonna totally let your stomach muscles go, and just feel, go hands on your belly.
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so I want
I'll
you,
go
cause
on
you're
the
the new client, you've never done Pilates before, and so you're the new client too, Elsa, you're gonna put your hands on your stomach muscles. And I want you to feel what it's like kind of low here, to let go of your belly, allow it to go to the ceiling, and then feel it naturally drop. You don't have to do a lot for it to drop, it just drops. Then we'll do the rib cage seesaw, so your ribs come up, shoulders come down, and you can put your hands on your ribs as you do that if you want, to kind of feel. So Elsa, for you, put your hands on your ribs for a sec, underneath your breasts. Hold on.
Sorry, me.
Yeah.
I will,
There you go, yeah, there you go. It's easier out of, yeah, we can move you over this.
That's
There you go. So you can feel those ribs.
Because you can still
Going
feel
up and
like
down.
the charming of the spine here.
So now don't do the belly button
Yeah,
back
I know,
anymore,
yeah.
Elsa. And so Elsa, what's happening right now is that you're trying to control it with your breath. And I want you to let your breath go, wiggle it all out.
shake it off,
Yeah.
throw it out.
And you're just gonna be like a belly dancer and you're gonna pop your ribs and drop your ribs. Yep, there's up, now go the other way.
Wow.
Yeah, good. And now don't connect it with your breath, just let your body
Yeah,
move.
that
Yes.
is like the like
Okay, so what's happening right now, you guys, this is good seeing, is that your ribs are staying kind of out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you've got to find some sense of release. That's just gonna let your chest go. Yeah. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, and so in a private with Elsa, I would probably, yes, get into all this pelvic floor stuff, but just as much the rib cage expansion. So I only have 50 minutes, right? So I kind of have to pick and choose what people are able to do.
Okay.
So costal breathing.
some people can have wide rib cages like anatomically too.
Yes, but they should still be able to move in.
Yeah, I
So
feel like I have
rib
a like rib
cage
cage, but I can
breathing,
still like.
right? Your ribs have to expand
Interesting.
and connect. Diaphragm gets to
Yeah.
come up and down, but the spine doesn't move. So the serratus posterior, can you see this nesty? Your serratus posterior on the back, this butterfly muscle, spine to rib cage. When that's tight, often in like postpartum too, the rib cage can't get this expansion. So we have to learn how to let go of the diaphragm and the serratus posterior so that you can then let the rib cage come. So you're not gonna think about breath, you're just gonna think about coming out into my hands, I think. And then you stop pushing out into my hands and you just let it all go.
Letting
Uh-huh,
this.
yeah, good. Nice, can you feel that? So it is a breath, but we don't wanna get caught up in the breathing part of it.
How do you
They go
tell if it's their serratus posterior that's tight?
You don't need to worry about it. You
Okay.
just know, they just need to have this image of their back opening.
So if you're finding that
just
they're
changed
having a
just
hard time expanding their rib cage, then it might be because of that tightness, and so you could say, okay, think about.
Just think, so what I want you to do is not think of breath. And that's like, you know, I try not to say that because it's like saying don't think of pink elephants. But
That one you like didn't even open your
you're gonna,
page at all.
it's not a breath.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be able to
And then dig deep here.
get one. So you could, I will make people do this too, Nayla.
Okay, do it again.
Will you open your rib cage and tell me your dog's name?
There it was, you just did.
As you
Okay,
open
now
your
you're doing
ribs.
it.
Snowy.
As you open your ribs.
Do
Oh,
that.
because you're making her change her breathing.
Because you can breathe without thinking. You breathe all day long.
Can you can open your rib cage
Yeah.
without breathing?
Well, no, I'm breathing, I'm talking, and I'm moving my rib cage, but I'm not forcing myself to do it.
You do that.
So it's just
So you put your
Oh,
hands
yeah,
on your
I mean,
ribs,
like,
and
just
you
while you're
just let go
talking.
of the back,
La, la,
and you let the rib la 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 la.
Still
Yeah.
And you can la la la. You can talk to me. Yep. So it's not a breath. You gotta tell me. You're look up to the ceiling. And what are you doing tonight?
It's hard.
Teach.
I'm gonna try to make it to dancing.
well, now you're doing more belly.
I know.
Yeah. Tonight.
But I
Downtown.
need.
Yeah.
What time is it at?
It starts at 6 and goes till 9.
actually can do
But see how you're having to hold your breath.
It is.
Yeah, I
that?
just held my breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got to. This is where you're
I
just
mean,
gonna
I
let
can
go.
like
Yeah. Good. Just let
talk,
it
but
happen. Nice. And then we've got to distract
I
her
know,
away
see,
from
I know.
controlling it.
Yeah.
Almost makes
I
it
You
don't
harder.
definitely
understand
control
how
it.
you can do it without breathing in.
You are breathing in. You are
But you're
breathing
just talking.
in.
I'm just rib cage breathing while talking.
Yeah. Because you do not control every breath you take during your day.
I have to
Could you imagine if
while
we had
Layla
to
figures
control our
that out.
breathing?
Okay, you were
Yeah.
controlling it then, do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
La, la.
So
There we
it's
go.
yeah. It's kind of like you know, I want you to not think. We have to distract you. Yeah, you're just yes, that's so much better, and then you're just gonna let it go. Nothing, 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 nothing. Yeah. Good. So now, if you put your hands on your ribs,
Oh, her.
onto you, okay, and I want you to do your usual abdominal contraction. Tighten your abs. Okay.
Oopsie, pushed it.
Pushed out, and
Way
can
out.
you feel this ridge?
Mhm,
Right.
totally.
So can you still, I want you to see this, so let's do it again. There's this ridge that comes down,
Yeah.
and so when that ridge happens, you are working your transverses very hard right here,
Mhm.
and that's all that's working.
And nothing else. Do it again.
So you have to, then we know that's your habit, right?
You
And feel how
ask
you're
for ab
holding your breath.
contraction?
Yeah, I want her just to tighten her abs, yeah. So belly pushes out, this pulls in, breath is held. If we add load through springs or legs, it's all gonna land up here and then
So
at your
and
shoulders.
so
And
ribs
wait.
together with that.
So now,
Say
okay,
that
let's-
again.
Okay, do it again, so go into your, are you doing okay with this?
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
so now pull your legs up to 90-90.
Ooh.
And do you feel it right in here contracting?
Not yet, hang up. Yeah, a little bit. In my right more.
Okay, feel how this is out?
Mhm.
Okay, now what happened if you tried to pull it in? She just holds her breath
Yeah.
more and
Yeah.
those
And those
shoulders
shoulders-
come up even more. So go
I
ahead
think
and
you
do
just fixed my mom.
it.
Like literally.
You wanted shoulders up.
No, no, we wanna get into the neutral, that's
Right.
gonna be everybody's different strategy, you know? Elsa's is gonna be like, you just gotta distract the heck out of your brain, you
Oh,
do
it's
not get to
wild.
think about it. So,
I'll just pet her.
yeah, we're gonna put these under your cheeks. Do you wanna try to put these under? There's some other
You want
ones.
some butt balls?
Yeah. I love that.
These worked so well for me last
There
time.
you go. So just doing that lifts the pelvis up a little bit. It gives a little bit of that slack, but now the chest gets to be just a little bit more open, right? So now we're going to do your bent knee fall out, where your legs open apart from each other. And as the legs open, the pelvic floor, and you can put your hands maybe on your stomach just to relax, good. Your whole thing is to not let the belly button come in. So you wanna think of letting the stomach muscles out, and that you can open your legs, maybe not quite so far in the last here, and let your pelvic floor marble or trampoline widen, and that also is gonna coordinate with your rib cage widening. So eventually we want everything to open, and then you just do nothing, let the wind blow your legs back in, allow the ribs at my hands to come in by doing nothing, yes, yes. So it expands on the out, letting your neck and shoulders release, and then it's very easy, nothing, you're pulling your belly button in. And so it's starting to be like, what is your cue? What's your strategy? What makes sense for your brain? Then we just land on that. And that's what an assessment I would write down. Like, what are you doing right now? What are you finding for success?
Not like not dropping the belly button down.
Mhm.
Like just
Let me drop my.
letting it almost float.
Yeah.
It just feels tighter here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like contracting it.
Yeah, you're
And
like,
I can feel
you're
my-
really bracing
Yeah.
yourself, which is probably pulling on your hip flexor, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to forget that.
So you actually are opening very nicely.
So in the assessment, I would write down this. So then say you were to work with yourself, you'd read that assessment and go, oh, this is what I need to do with this person. Give them exercises and just
Yeah.
let them practice this for a few minutes, you know?
And it's funny how instantly this happened with
'Cause
Cassidy too, that once these went here,
Yeah,
everything just went,
Relax.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
there's something
helps.
that happens when I'm on my back, that there's like a seizing.
The balls give feedback, they also just help to give that little bit of slack.
Yeah.
It also helps fill the pelvic floor more. So
Do you
then.
sell these for them for my
Yes.
house
There's
also?
a whole basket up in the
Perfect.
front.
As
Bring your legs into
okay.
parallel and do a
Yeah,
pelvic
gotcha.
tilt. So we didn't do this with you guys, but you're gonna do a pelvic tilt now. And I want you first just to do your pelvic tilt,
Okay.
your old style.
I
Just
feel
do
like
it.
Are these supposed to? I feel like they're moving.
They're underneath each cheek. We'll move.
Like, okay.
And put them more
There's
comfortable.
some-
Put them, yeah, put them up if they need to. So when you do your old style, you can notice like belly button pulling in, ribs maybe overworking, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yes. And then sand your neutral, and then know that big toe next to your pelvic floor, so keep it nose down. I will often use a yoga block just to give people that feedback. Now I'm gonna cue a pelvic tilt. You're gonna use your feet as if you're pushing your feet away to let your pelvis go into that lengthened pelvic tilt position. So
Pushing your feet away from you.
you're just gonna use I like to like your a bow and arrow,
Mhm.
and your feet are pulling in order for your pelvis to respond. So you use your feet as
Maybe
a
not quite so
foundational
much.
source.
Ah,
You could also think about
feel
your
better?
yeah.
Feels good.
So think about that video of the spine flexion. So don't lift your butt up necessarily. Yeah. Use your feet to push your head to the wall behind you,
Ah, yes.
or like a conveyor belt's pulling your sacrum away. And then
There you go.
key is when you go back to the neutral start position, you're not arching to get there. You're letting that pelvic floor go. I would still let
You
your
were a
belly.
little bit, yeah.
Do you see that belly button
So-
a little more?
What about just like pelvic floor releasing? Like I
Mhm.
feel like that's probably like
That's a huge.
yeah.
You gotta let it
So,
widen to come back to
so what if
neutral.
like you're saying
Maybe
widen?
just
Like I feel like I don't know if I'm
It's okay.
fully relaxing. What's a do you? What do you do?
Go into a tuck, squeeze your butt. Now keep the butt squeezed and try to put your pelvis back to neutral.
Can't.
Yeah.
So I
You're
guess
so
maybe
tight.
I'm widening.
Well, I
more
just
than
did that on
yeah.
purpose
Oh,
when,
okay.
when Sandy
I
said that,
okay.
cue, I tried
sometimes
that.
like
so-
I'll touch right here on people and be like, let go, let go.
Yeah.
And once they let go of their butt squeeze, because a lot of people like, and they don't even
Yeah.
realize it, and so I'll say like, let go, and you can see it, like.
So
Yeah.
if I'm not squeezing my butt and I'm not hugging the
And
marble, I'm technically
It's gonna be
relaxed.
relaxing back, yeah.
Well then great.
The glute squeeze is very, very hard for people to let go of, which is why I use the monarch balls at the knees. It's easier for people to relax the knees than it is to relax the butt. So it's kind of like a reverse psychology, you know.
Can you say that again, Sandy?
Yeah.
So a lot of times people have a hard time softening your glutes
Totally.
and your hip flexors. But you can feel the relationship between when you squeeze your knees, how the butt tightens.
Yeah.
And when you relax your knees, your butt relaxes. So now just pay attention to your knees not squeezing as you do your pelvic tilt. So you need to find.
Say that one more time.
Pay
Pay attention to your knees,
yeah.
not squeezing
Don't squeeze the balls
as you pelvic
as
tilt.
you do a pelvic tilt.
I figured it out.
And use your feet to move
Your butt
spine.
cheeks are actually relaxed right now instead of clenched.
You know, this is, you know when people say you hold
Whoa.
so much in your hips and you don't know you've been holding?
I just like
That's so,
holding
like,
these and I feel like
and-
more
And
of
even
a-
when we touch
maybe
people's
more
hips, they
pelvic
tend to
floor
tighten up.
opening
They
than
don't,
Like we naturally just
like,
go like
here,
this.
loosen up here, and it's like,
If you
yeah,
loosen.
but
Yeah.
when you sit this,
when
Yeah.
I'm hugging
That-
knees.
You literally have relaxation in your.
Yeah.
that
I'm like, you
totally-
have relaxation
Yeah.
down.
And it's not that you're not gonna use your glutes.
No, I know,
100%.
yeah, but
Glutes
just
work.
the easing of the knees.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, huh?
Now it should connect big
feels
toes,
much
inner
more
side,
weird.
pelvic
It feels
floor, rib
much
cage
more
softening,
relaxed.
right?
Not
But I
that
just-
it felt tight before, but it feels definitely more
Think
relaxed.
about moving, I want you to think about the image of your feet moving your head to the front door. Forget about the pelvic tilt. Just push your body like you're gonna slide right off that mat and let your pelvis go along for the ride.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then go back to the neutral start position. Yeah, and yes, that. Good, and you could add a little bit of the pearl cue if you need, yes, that was different. You're and I would just have your hands here if that's helpful.
See,
right
this
here.
does feel
This
looser
up higher.
here.
This is
Oh,
where I
I
want you
get
just to
that.
keep letting go.
Without the balls.
Well, think about if I take this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting better. Let's do the curl up on the
Okay.
pads.
The what?
How's it?
Oh, yeah.
302.
I'm pretty big.
Cassidy, are you good? It's 302.
I'm fine. I texted Evan. She said you can just go home after your meeting out of here. She's very.
Nice.
I love my butt.
She's a lady.
I love both of my bosses. Yeah, she is aware. She has children, so she's like, I'm going to a baseball game anyway. Have fun. Bye.
Yeah, I think my kid did the studio at 4, so we really good.
Okay.
You guys want to go to tailoring?
Or-
Hands behind, yeah, you can keep those if you want.
Oh, I know,
You
they're
want
so
to
nice.
mouse. Hands behind your head, neutral
Behind the
pelvis. Let that, do whatever you need to do to let your belly button out, knees. Yes, you wanna find that leg position for you that lets this go soft. Maybe a little bit wider with your legs, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I also
There,
have a
yeah.
protruding tailbone. so
Now
that's
do
a
the
lot of
same
like
pelvic
out in the
scoop.
corner, so sometimes I have to go over
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like going straight up instead of, I like that, good job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can feel
No, but
this
that-
just automatically
gosh,
dropping. You don't have to think about it. The more you let this out, the more you're gonna find that success too. Yeah, just, yeah, there you go. So after you establish the pelvic tilt, then you know your back is warmed up into that lengthening and you could go into the curl up. So for the curl up, you're gonna keep that neutral pelvis by letting go of your knees. You can probably move up on the pad a little higher, Nayla. And then drop your low ribs into the negative space and think of the wheel cue. And then go ahead and when you come, actually let's come up to the curl up for a sec. And then find neutral.
Are you ticklish? Is that why you're giggling?
And your head back and do more rib cage wheel than head. Good. Now do your bent knee fall out here, opening pelvic floor and rib cage, and think of softening at the monarch balls. And as your legs come back together, yeah, you feel that transversus. That was gorgeous.
You did good.
Yeah, good. Stay there. Let the knees go even more.
Open more or?
Just soften at those knees. So as when your legs come together, it's like the back body's widening to bring the. Don't pull the belly button in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel that weight in your tailbone as you need to. More, you're still a little more curled down. So hold here for a second, Elsa. Can you let your pubic bone drop down? Yes. So you're not in a pelvic tilt right now. I want you
Okay.
more neutral. Keep releasing.
Well,
Release
lay
where?
back and
On my
like
knees or
give
my
yourself a
hip
rest.
flexors?
and do
Whatever's
a
gonna
couple
send
rests
your
like
pubic
that
bone
first,
across
maybe
the
with your back
Yeah.
in this position. I feel like
Yes.
sometimes like opening it
Okay.
up.
How's that right there?
Really good.
I always tell people, I'm like, okay, refine
So
your
I would
neutral,
like
refine
this
like
to
your
have
body
lightness to
in
it
a
right
new
now, and I
position
can't
because
get
it
under there.
changes how our levers are.
So you gotta let your butt go.
And crunch.
Can you let us put our hand under your back? Move up higher on the pad.
Up here.
Yeah, that corset, yeah.
Okay. Now let your butt go
But I do
that
that was
way.
actually good for like my
That way.
knees here.
You're tucking out
I
too.
am.
Yeah.
Because
Cause you can still have things zipped up,
So now
and
let
like
your
I'm
belly
still
button out.
talking to you, but my,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
you know, so it's,
Okay.
have to breathe through
Good.
your cage.
Think about your pubic bone moving away from your belly button even more.
Ton.
Yes.
Okay.
There. Okay.
yeah, and it's just not gonna be as wide as like in our
Uh-huh.
intercostal
And then just
breathing,
let your
it won't be
pelvis
that
stay
wide,
there.
but you can still
As your legs come back and don't
think
pull
about
any
targeting
muscles.
that
Yeah.
breath there.
Just
And
undo.
keeping.
You guys wanna feel on her too, you can.
You did really good that
What
time.
are we feeling? Finding the neutral.
I don't know what I'm doing and it won't stop. I just.
Go put your hand underneath his spine. Yeah, or Cassidy, you can, yeah.
Let me
You can
squeeze.
both. So, yeah, you can go into it. So now go ahead and come in with the legs, Elsa. Good. And I want you to go, if you can, it's okay, where you were before. Just tighten everything.
You feel the difference?
Internal obliques are working hard, the pelvis moved, and then you're getting out of that.
Mhm.
And what are you doing?
I let my pubic bone go to verve
Okay.
and I tried to soften in the knees where the balls are.
So these are the things that we write down then.
It still feels a little tight.
What about letting your belly go? Does that cue work here?
You throw cues out and see what works out. Yeah, so then we're gonna move the upper body by dropping your low ribs into that negative space. Like your upper body's a wheel, but you have no low body. Everything between your belly button is on vacation. And you're just, imagining that you are that anatomy video of that spine elongating. And I'd say once you come up into your curl up, stay there, and then let your pelvis go back to that neutral again. Yeah. Nice. And then go ahead and go back down.
Down the,
The upper body. You're just gonna move your upper body up and down into a curl up a couple of times, checking in with what is your strategy? Where do you need to think? Is it letting go? Yep, yep. And then keep those legs.
You're definitely elongating in your back.
you can feel
the
elongation in your back.
And not movement up here.
So now also you're gonna come up to your curl up.
Oh, there's a, I think, big tuck at the end range.
Yes.
There.
Good. Okay. You're gonna keep this and do a rib cage expansion, which is gonna be your inhale, but it's just gonna happen. You're gonna make sure you can breathe on challenge. And then you let those ribs lightly come together. Just let it happen. Good. How's she doing in her neutral? Still good?
It's feeling a little tight in the
Mhm.
back to where.
Soften the
I'm
monarch
thinking
balls.
There
Yeah,
you go.
there you go.
That was good.
So
You're
once
crunchy.
you find the cue that brings someone success, you just come back to it over and over again. Because we don't want to have 85,000 cues or we lose our mind.
And
So-
now we know that's where
Yeah.
she holds her, that's
She-
where you hold your attention.
She's finding release.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
well, I've known that.
Yeah. I feel
So keep checking here and just.
Yeah, I
because
saw the
of
lengthening up
there.
here for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
true, yeah,
Mhm.
you can
You
feel it
Really,
right here,
yeah, you have really good lengthening up in here.
Do you feel those upper abs getting turned on a little bit with the
Oh,
lower
yeah.
abs?
Yeah.
So stay here.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
We're gonna bring one leg up over the hip joint. All the way, all the way over hip joint. Yep, good. Check in with the back. So now as the second leg comes up. All the
My
way
feet
over
are
the
really
hip
cold
joint.
too.
Okay, pull them over. Good. How's the back doing?
Good.
Okay, how's the
I feel-
abdominals?
Oh, they are fire right now.
Okay, so how are you gonna correct it? You're not gonna
There.
pull in harder, you're gonna
No.
soften your knees. If you drop feet, that's fine. Good. And then think of your pelvic floor marble, maybe lightly. In fact, let's do bend knee fall out here. Open those knees and feet apart from each other. And see if you can bring your legs back in without gripping at the monarch ball of your knees. And just see if that transversus, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't even use your hip
No,
flexor there
at
either.
all.
And you wanna keep the knees over the hip joints. So if they start to fall too far away from you, you have to keep opening since bones and pelvic floor.
You use your core, not your hip
Yeah.
flexor.
Okay, also now you're gonna bring those legs in together. Good, you're gonna keep those ribs dropping down. Good, keep curling up nice. You're gonna send a single leg out across the ribs, the bottom cross drops, that's okay. Nice. And then you're gonna come back in, and then how's the transversus on this? So low abdominals, you
Low
will
spine flip.
naturally pull in as the leg extends because you're just relaxing that diaphragm. I think curling up a little higher is, yep, good. Nice. And softening where you need to let core do its job, transversus, transversus,
you
yeah,
can feel
yeah.
it
So
turn
this
on,
now
yeah.
might be that we've established some cues. I'm gonna take this one, you can do the other side. She could maybe think transversus drawing in a little bit as long as it doesn't go back into the extreme strategy that was there before. Curl up just a little higher.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I think.
So like
Yeah.
now she's like got all the cues, and when she goes out, she needs her transversus more.
Yeah.
And she needs to turn it
Yeah.
on, but she needs to turn it on truly. And so that's where it's like down the line once people understand that then you can use that cue.
Feeling that
Yeah.
this.
Your challenge right now is
rather
you're
than
falling back and
that.
probably tired. You've been doing a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
holding
Sarah, did you like all of our
on.
hands just like?
Does that answer a little bit, you know, of like, there is a time when you can tell people like keep that transversus in, but it's gonna be once that has been established.
Releasing the belly, I guess so.
If we had told her at the very beginning, pull in your lower abs, we saw what happened.
Yeah.
Right, so then we gave new cues, new strategies, and built back up to the challenge that
Yeah.
she should be at. So we wanna get you right to your challenge place. Then you're like, okay, I've got all these new strategies. Okay, yeah, now you can think a little bit, or even just feeling that lower abdominal. Oh, I have to work at my lower abdominals. I do have to knit them together consciously, but it's not the old strategy of pulling that belly button in.
When do you say like, because I hear you say like release belly button.
Because you look at your clients. and
Like what do
just
you see? Like what is like in a
what she's doing with that tuck.
Where-
with like the feet down and doing
When we
pelvic
did
The
tucks
feet
and
was
tilts.
huge.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Keeping the feet connected.
And it
I
was
feel
like the
like-
core bracing was.
It's like
You see the like it's the belly button to spine cue. I feel like is what gets a lot of people because they truly
Yeah.
just suck in.
Mm-hmm.
like see how everything is impacted, right?
That
So it's
yeah.
like, ugh, it feels like I'm working really hard.
Yeah.
It feels horrible in my body, right? And so then if I pull my legs up, it's like and this actually just goes out more. And then if I go here, and then I'll just
So when you say release, it's kind of like a
Now, show us the other
try
way, Sandy.
something different.
Sorry.
Your turn.
okay. If I'm in neutral, get my pelvic floor involved, I'm relaxing my shoulders. You bring your leg up, right up over hip.
And can I touch you?
Right. Don't go in the middle.
Yes.
Just so you all know too, I don't claim to be perfect. So,
Disclaimer.
Not allowed.
alright, so you can go on my spine if you want to. Okay. So, I'm gonna do some pelvic tilts first.
I mean, you're keeping belly like relaxed, kind of.
I'm thinking of pulling in here, but I'm
Okay.
doing it with my marble. And
I
I'm
see.
really
Yeah.
thinking of my low back elongating to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm
Around
really
low back
sacrum,
Oh, and I
elongate.
can feel that right, yeah.
the feet. So instead of, this would be just about
Yeah.
Right,
That
this is
would
like,
be just
I'm
fun.
staying
Yes,
short and I'm
okay.
just like seesawing.
Yeah,
in it,
yeah.
Versus now I'm gonna not seesaw and I'm thinking length,
Okay, totally see that a lot.
and then this is getting to just drop in. I have to be careful to not like do this, right? So now we're gonna go to neutral, and I'm gonna do my bend knee fall out, ribs expand, pelvic floor expands, soften my back of the knees.
When I do feel like it feels so different on the mat than on the reformer with your feet on the floor too.
Mhm.
Like it can feel, at least in like your body, like
Yeah.
your practicing body, it can feel like a different.
Subconsciously thinking.
I don't feel like like a lot of like contraction under my fingers, but obviously I guess if you don't need to use it.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
You
the point of
only
it.
need to work what you need. So right now this is an easy exercise, right? So it's not that hard. So this is why we like build the baseline of foundational strength. Okay, so then,
When you lift.
and just so you know, this side is a different experience than this side. Okay.
I feel a lot here happening.
All right.
Stay here for a couple minutes.
And now curl. Just kidding.
In hundreds.
So now I'm gonna let go of my abs.
I see.
Here's my belly bulge.
Mm-hmm.
And then here would be me just pulling them in belly button.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
It like convulses. Yeah.
Right? So I'm trying so hard.
Oh my gosh.
Feels really hard. Okay, so now I'm gonna. There.
Interesting.
And now I'm
Okay.
going to extend the leg out.
There it is.
And I'm working my rib cage to keep
Yeah.
it in, but I'm not doing this.
But are you still, and you're still breathing in your rib cage, right?
I'm exhaling, but I can still talk to you and do it. So
Yeah.
it's like really.
That's kind of what Neil and I were talking
Yeah.
about. We're like, you have to kind of breathe through your rib cage, but not in a way that's like so dramatic.
Yeah, and the ribs, they move, but, you know, I'm letting my ribs come together and I'm drawing my transverses in. So now both legs. Okay, so feel my low back.
So ribs
Okay.
coming together when you're talking about that right now is to help with the like core stabilization.
At your hardest challenge, you want your rib cage in and your pelvic floor and transverses out
At
of
your
place.
hardest.
And then that's when
challenge.
you're extending.
That would be when you have your longest
Your
levers
longest
typically.
level,
that's
when
like
you're picking
all
up your
TA.
heavy bucket in front
Yeah.
of you, that is when you need your exhale. Now, it doesn't mean that eventually you don't wanna be able to inhale out and do that. Eventually, you wanna be able to do everything. But for assistance at the hardest point, it is gonna be the rib cage in, pelvic floor in, transverses in, right?
Which
And
would
so-
make sense. Yeah, your most supported body is
So
there.
yeah, that's the transverse coming
Up
and
to the rib
doing,
cage.
yeah.
The intercostals are inside the ribs, so they're pulling.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you put your hand on your low back again. Okay. Wow.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna go too far.
Oh, yeah.
Your hand wasn't on there, you wouldn't know,
Yeah.
right?
That's so true.
So you gotta feel, cause like you have no idea that I popped up. So you gotta feel what's going on so that you can help people find, alright, that's your spot. You know, put the legs on the ball or do something different.
Okay.
And like the same thing for here, as you come up into your ab curl, you know, remember to feel like, okay, what's going on here, bulging out.
I do this a lot in legs and straps.
Mhm.
I touch people a lot and I have them touch their pelvic to find that tilt because so many people in legs just want to go like this and then like far down and then all the way back up and then as far down as you
Yeah.
can go and it's like that's hurting me.
I
Can't
will
go.
set them up where I want them to start on that
Yes.
45-degree angle
Yep.
and then have them do pelvic tilts
Yep.
with that and then find that control. And a
Okay.
lot of times I just have to walk over to someone and say like, this is where you're coming to, right
Yeah.
here. Like put your hands on your stomach, feel that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's, so you just have to,
Okay.
guide, I mean, that's a lot of, and I was, when you were watching, I was really watching, oh, Empower today, I was thinking about when you guys do come and observe, act like you're teaching the class when you're watching, like, oh, that person's doing something, what would I do to that person right now? Yeah, it makes it really
Did you take
unfun to
notes
go
on
to
me the other
class.
day?
No,
I was like right in your face.
What I
Right.
didn't get to talk about both of you for you is, controlling range of motion, full extension for the neck.
Yeah.
Just be careful with
Okay.
that. Especially teaching, I don't take people that far most of the time.
Okay.
What was it your class? Who was teaching? There was something we were doing that was going back and you were going full range back and full neck thoracic.
haven't
in
taught in
Swan.
any class yet.
It was,
So-
it was an interview class. It was the interview class. You
Might
already
have
wrote it
been,
down.
yeah.
I scrapped that from my memory.
I have two, and I didn't bring it up, but I'm just.
I know what
thinking
you're
where-
talking about though,
Yeah,
yes.
what exercise?
It was swan, not swan, it was, maybe mermaid? No?
I think it was roll down,
Oh,
facing back.
yes, okay.
Yeah.
I do that. When I do my pull downs, I go all the way back, and especially if we're on a box or something, I can go all the way back and then just roll all the way back up again. And so I think that's probably
Yeah.
what it was.
In teaching, I would control people's range just to keep
Okay.
safety.
No,
Okay.
I need to be better
And,
at that.
Stop there. Yeah, telling people like, this is where I want you to stay right now,
Yeah.
you know, like, thinking like, you're responsible for their
Yeah.
bodies also, so, you know, you get to say like, I'm not comfortable with that right now.
My favorite thing that people have said when I'm in class is like reminding us that your range of motion might be different every day.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I've had
They don't listen.
but I've had a client like twice where I'm like, okay, so our range of motion is a little different today. Do you feel that difference in your body? And he's like, yeah, I'm really tight from blah 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 blah. And I'm like, that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
don't let that be shameful that one day you feel stronger than a different one. Like, and so that has been a nice thing. Or I think it's nice when people say that in class too, because sometimes I do come to class and I'm like, normally I can do this. Why can't I do
Yeah.
it today? And like,
Everybody's different,
I
every
beat
day's
myself
different.
up. Not everyone does.
For
But like,
roll downs, is there a place where you do go all the way back to like neutral and then back up? Like, do people do that? It's a full like expression kind of, just, you know, bootstrap. You can't get back up, but
I mean, the world is available.
does that make sense?
If
Would that
you-
be like not nice?
If you wanna do it, no, I mean, play with it, and people can do it with good form and manage it, and there's a lot that is available. Yeah, so for, with, you know, within form range.
Yeah.
Do you guys wanna try while we're all here and pick another time
Mm.
to get together, cause that's like, I know the hardest thing of all. And